Hello, guys. Blessings, blessed be. So, I am just kind of sitting at home chilling, uh, watching movies, and Spirit said, why don't you go on there and tell them what it was that you were doing prior to starting your witchy business? So, I wanted to come and get into my work history and kind of who I am and what I was doing prior to starting my witchy business. Now, I was born a witch. Witches are I believe that all of us that are here and now, right now, I believe that all of us that are practicing, all of us that are having success. Y'all like my hair? All of us that are having success in our witchy businesses, I feel that we were born this way. We were born this way. So I feel like it's innate, it's natural in us, it's a part of our soul resonance. So prior to not coming out of the broom closet, no, but prior to discovering my witchy self, I worked in several different fields. Okay. So I know that it's not exciting. I know that it's not like, oh my God, like, oh, it's such an inspiration. To me, it's still an inspiration. Just because I wasn't like a criminal or just because I wasn't doing something crazy before I started my witchy business doesn't mean that it's not inspirational still, okay? But when I was 16 years old, I got my first job at Popeye's Chicken, okay? I was the biscuit girl, okay? And they literally butter their biscuits several times. Those biscuits got so much butter in them, it's freaking ridiculous. Because I used to make those biscuits. I did that in other like odd jobs, like, I've worked for McDonald's. I did that until I was 17 years old. And then I went and worked for the Internal Revenue Service. And what I did for the Internal Revenue Service, because I've always been able to type, I've always been very good with computers. And so what I did for the Internal Revenue Service was I was a data transcriber. And I actually did that seasonally for, goodness gracious, this flame is so high on this candle. Anyway, I did that for upwards to 10 years. In between that time, I worked in property management, and it was kind of difficult for me to get grounded in any career because of the oppression around me. And it was mainly the oppression of the father of my children. I struggled within my career because, of course, him thinking that he was being a man meant that he had to try to lower me. And so that was sort of like the whole thing. And it's something that I think that we all are still going through, especially as women. When you have men, especially in social media, men can be very disrespectful in social media. In fact, the fact that I even had to make this video is crazy because men in social media will look at you and they will make up all sorts of fantasies around you. And it's not just men, it's women doing it as well. And y'all know the type of woman that I am. I am a daughter of Lilith. I don't play those games. I really don't. I have, so prior to doing this, I worked in property management. I have been licensed in real estate. Okay. And then the real estate didn't exactly work out. And it was because, again, at the time, the man that I was with, he, for some reason, and I don't understand it, okay? It's the same principle as why would the retrograde alchemy bottles be necessary? Why would us being born with retrograded planets and needing to cover ourselves when these planets go into retrograde, why would it even be necessary? I think it's because there's a lot of confused people on this planet. I really do. But The reason why that didn't really take off is because honestly, like the guy that I was dealing with at the time, I had small children with him. He did some horrible things that I don't even want to mention to stop me from selling real estate. And so, real estate is something that, I do want to go into, but I don't really have a lot of time in this 10-minute video to mention it as far as like, I don't want to say a side business, but a business investment that I do want to eventually go into. And I'll talk about that in another video at a later time. I got other stuff I'm dealing with my business because I will always run my spiritual witchy business. It's something that is in my heart. It is in my soul. And that's just what it is. But so what I did was I worked for various companies. I worked for companies like Sprint. I worked for companies like Best Buy, I mainly started working from home though. And so I started working from home like more than 10 years ago. And I would sometimes work for like temporary agencies and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I was actually hired on permanent at Sprint, and then I left Sprint, their brick and mortar, and ended up working for Sprint again as an at-home customer service representative. So I mainly would work in customer service, and a lot of people think that working in customer service is demeaning, but that's a really, really important job. In fact, I realized looking back at those jobs and even while I was in those positions that being a customer service representative, you're almost like a spiritual counselor anyway. So anybody that's ever worked in customer service that started doing what I do, or you know what I'm saying, like you kind of understand what I'm talking about, because customers can sometimes be like, and it's understandable, right? So anyway, so here I am now. I did that up until the age of 36, and then that is when I started that is when things started coming about. And then I proudly can say that I've been running my witchy business since December of 2015. It has been the greatest gift. There has never been any curse about my business, even though I've dealt with a lot of haters. I've dealt with a lot of backbiters. I have dealt with a lot of monsters. The spiritual business is not just a business. It is something that it is very, very deep. Especially when you're dealing with psychic vampires, parasitic people. It's a trip. It really is. And the spiritual community is just all kinds of up and down with all kinds of charlatans and people that can't be trusted anyway. The hating is real around these parts, okay? Because, people are kind of upset about me creating the planetary alchemy. Well, I wouldn't be the first witch that has connected with the universe, right? And there's a lot that I know about that. So, anyway, I just thought I would come and say that because there have been people that have been trying to ruin my reputation, people that have been trying to backbite off of me, and I wanted to let you guys know who I really am, okay? All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.